Good morning, everybody. I think we should start. The clock I can see is already counting back, so there's not that much time, you know. Well, good morning again from myself. My name is Christoph Selig. I work for Deutsche Post DHL, and I'm here together with my colleague, Dr. Irma Lindt. And we're going to present you some, let's say, new ideas out of our daily work at Deutsche Post DHL. The title of our presentation or workshop, or whatever you would call it, is Innovative Partnership Living New Values. We will do the presentation in two parts. I will start and try to give you some insights in our CSR strategy and how we work, what we try to reach, and what role partnerships play in this approach. And then Irma Lindt will follow and will give some insights on how we organize innovations in and for the company Deutsche Post DHL. Michael Porter said recently that corporate social responsibility is often a reaction to external pressure and is requested by stakeholders of companies. And therefore, often CSR is not really connected to the core business or to the core competencies of a company, but being or becoming a good corporate citizen needs more than just doing some good things with a limited CSR budget in a company. It, from our point of view, demands a comprehensive approach where creating profit also creates benefit for the society. At Deutsche Post DHL, we do not follow a philanthropic approach when it comes to CSR. We try to reflect very much the basic interests of our company, which helps them to create a good business environment and also secures our societal license to operate in the future. At Deutsche Post DHL, we therefore decided to define CSR in a different and in a new way. The key elements to this approach are as follows. First, we identified some key issues which have the potential to affect our business today or in the future substantially, but also might create business opportunities and a competitive advantage for the company. The three pillars are we are tackling the environment with our Go Green program, which is mostly on CO2 emissions. As you can imagine, as a big logistics provider, we emit quite a bit of this. Secondly, it's on disaster response and disaster preparedness, which is our Go Help program. And last but not least, it's the issue of education, which we called GoTeach as a program. When you talk about CSR, at the end it's all about creating impact. Because without creating any positive, whether it be environmental or societal impact, you will, as a company, face some doubts regarding your credibility. And impact makes your CSR work trustworthy at the end and gives us this credibility we're looking for. Impact also creates the basis for other objectives you might want to reach with CSR in a company like ours. Next point is the combination of a global framework and what we call local ownership. As I just said, we define clear issues we are going to tackle, we want to tackle, and also clear objectives, which arise from our Corporate Strategy 2015. At the same time, we encourage our employees on country level or local level to take responsibility for those issues and to reflect the local realities, to develop customized solutions in the given framework, which address local needs and also meet local requirements. I will explain this to you a little later when it comes to a concrete example. This also guarantees then commitment and a strong link to the business, because people wouldn't do it if they wouldn't see any need in doing this. Next point is partnerships. When we started with GoTeach, and I'm working in GoTeach, an external consultant told us that there are no partnerships in CSR between corporates and NGOs, that this is impossible, because this person said, well, there's always one part of the partnership paying and the other part is delivering, you know, the good conscience or something like this. And actually, we got rid of this external consultant, but that gave us also the energy to try to set up something different. So our concept of partnerships is trying to have partners on eye level, whether it's our NGO or whether our UN partners in the GoHealth program. And only, this is, I mean, it's very simple, but you don't see very much of those examples. Only if both partners benefit equally in this kind of a partnership or in this kind of a relationship, it has the potential to last and also to create impact. I would like to go a bit deeper into this issue of CSR by giving you an example on how we build up our partnership with the SOS Children's Villages in our GoTeach program. First of all, why education? I mean, our business model at Deutsche Post DHL is heavily based on a growing global trade in goods. So we, on one hand, we enable globalization, but on the other hand, we also profit from globalization. As a country, to play an active role in globalization and to profit from it, you need to have an economy which is as advanced as possible. To gain this, you also need educated people and an educated workforce. And therefore, education is one of the key factors for economic development, and not only for countries, but also very much on the individual level. To gain individual economic independence, you need some kind of education and, as we call it, employability. DPDHL as a company operates in more than 220 countries and territories globally, so we are heavily dependent also on a well-educated workforce. We employ about 470,000 people on a global scale, and therefore education is, of course, a very relevant issue for us to tackle. Why partner with SOS Children's Villages? In the company language, we would call it due diligence, what we did at the beginning. We looked at all the organizations which would give us access to this issue, which could be a potential partner for us. And at the end, it was pretty clear that there's, from our point of view, from what we wanted to reach, only SOS would be the adequate partner for this issue. SOS is almost as global as we are. They're operating in about 130 countries, and what they managed is to develop one business model, and roll this out on a global scale. They follow a very holistic approach when it comes to raising children at risk, who have either lost parental care or are at risk of losing parental care. And part of this approach is their proven record in education, or in educating young people and guaranteeing access to education for young people. It is an organization of professionals, not volunteers, which was quite important to us, and this is maybe the most important part of it, and they are eager to learn together with us on how to create a new groundbreaking corporate NGO partnership. The partnership framework. Our joint goal in this partnership is to foster employability of young people coming from a very disadvantaged background. There is, of course, financial support for SOS involved in this, but more important, it's the training and mentoring offers for youth, addressing the issues of soft and basic skills, career guidance, and first work experience. In this given framework, the partners develop on a local level tailor-made solutions for the youth to meet their needs based on the given labor market or educational system. And in those programs, our employees volunteer to share their experience. That's sort of our asset which we bring into this partnership. Share their experience with the youth in direct interaction. And our programs are so-called being brought to life by our employees, and it's their contribution and also impact. And the programs are open to all youth reached by SOS programs. Let me give you 2 examples to make this a bit, to give some pictures to this. We started with a partnership in Madagascar, which is usually a spot a company doesn't have on sort of his map. And we weren't aware of having employees in Madagascar and having access to children's villages in Madagascar. But they started a partnership. We have like 68 employees in Madagascar working for DHL. They started a partnership with SOS, developing a mentoring program for youth. A very unique model because they have like 4 mentors for 1 youth, and it's a program which lasts for 10 months. 64 out of those 68 employees are now volunteering in this partnership as mentors for DHL. So everybody from the forklift driver up to the national manager, to the national country managers called in our company, is actively participating in this partnership. A second example is South Africa, completely different environment, but still a lot of issues to address. There they started with a multi-step approach to develop this partnership. They started with something called career days to just open up the minds of the young people from the different SOS programs, to give them an idea on what is possible next to what they seem to know already. I mean, when you look back, when you were like 15 or 16 years old, I didn't know what would be out there, and I can tell you I never imagined at that age that I would do what I do today. So it's a lot about giving perspectives. What are the benefits of this kind of partnership? The partnership itself and the activities developed by our employees strengthen our brand visibility and reputation. I mean, this is what all companies look for. And this on a global and also on a local level. It also helps us to become employer of choice, what also every company wants to become, because our people can utilize their experience and we become more attractive for external talents. And last but not least, we get access to young talents from diverse backgrounds at a very early stage. Coming down to a personal level again, I mean, our colleague in Madagascar, who works as a forklift driver in one of our warehouses there at the airport, is probably the most proud of changing a person's life by just taking an effort and passing on his experience to this young person. Because it was my first time going to Madagascar, I have to admit, and I had no clue what I should expect. But in Madagascar, you have hardly any formal economy. There's hardly any business like we know it operating in this country. So giving young people the possibility to just enter a company like Deutsche Post DHL already changes something and gives them new opportunities. So this kind of experience our people make in this partnership is something they will probably not be able to get out of their daily work. It also proved to be a very good opportunity for collaboration, not only across business units and departments in DHL, but also with business partners, vendors, other stakeholders in the given societies, which critically sort of look at what we do as a global company, and if they like what we do, they might join in and follow us with this approach. And after just 1 year, more than 10 young people coming from an SOS background joined DPDHL as new employees. This is not something we intended when we started this partnership, because this is not a promise you can give as a company. It's about managing expectations also towards young people, but if it happens, it's really nice. And I'm pretty sure that those new employees are as committed as the employees we already have. But there's also challenges to this kind of partnerships. First, the concept of local ownership creates some uncertainty when it comes to planning. And especially from a corporate headquarter point of view, this is something which you have to learn. And not only I had to learn being responsible for this partnership, but also my boss had to learn that plans are not always working out as we planned it. Because, there is no way of putting pressure on our people in those countries, because they still do it on a voluntary basis, and you can't force them to do it. And either they see the benefit in this kind of partnership, or they will never actively implement it on a country level. Secondly, leading virtual international and intercultural teams from organizations as different as Deutsche Post DHL and SOS Children's Villages is a challenge as such, and is only possible due to a common understanding of the overall intention and objective in this partnership. And to have a direct interaction of Deutsche Post DHL employees and youth coming from one of the SOS programs, you need quite a leap of faith from our partner, and also a need for sensitivity for children's rights and children's needs. And that was one of the major concerns SOS had at the very beginning when we asked them to partner with us, because we wanted to directly interact with their children. So, what's the future maybe of this, not only of this partnership, but also of CSR, how we understand it? Right now in this partnership we are active in 7 countries, in Madagascar, South Africa, Vietnam, Brazil, Mexico, Ghana and Kenya. There are other countries to follow, but this is not only about a geographical spread or geographical rollout of this partnership. Because what we have achieved so far is hopefully only the basis for long-lasting and also impactful partnership. Right now we are working on issues like evaluation, which is quite difficult in issues like this, because it's not easy, especially when it comes to a very individual benefit, to sort of add this up to a general benefit for the company, for society, for whatever you're looking for. We also think about introducing vocational training at already existing SOS vocational training centers in some of the African countries. And in the future, this might hopefully lead to a level where we can together create social innovations with those youths coming from different societies. And where young people then from all over the world help us to develop new business solutions for challenging logistical needs. If we manage to reach this level, we would leave pure CSR and close the gap between business and society at least a little bit. So far, trust has been built in this partnership, and we are still at the very beginning. Let's see what we can make out of this in the future. Thank you very much. Up until here, I would now give the floor to my colleague Irma Lindt to give you some more insights on how we innovate. Thank you.
Good, so my name is Irma Lindt and I'm responsible for innovation best practice at Solutions and Innovation, which is one of our 2 innovation units at Deutsche Post DHL. Innovation is, I can do it myself. So, innovation is part of our corporate strategy, because we believe that it's really a driver for sustainable growth and development. And we have developed within our team a number of different methods and tools that we're using in order to support the innovation activities within the group. And what we found in our work is that we are too often generating ideas from the wrong perspective. Yeah. So in the past I worked in research, and I did a lot of technology research, and in that field, yeah, you are looking at the great new technology, and then you are thinking, okay, what can we do with it? Yeah, and that's the wrong starting point. Also in business, yeah, you are very quickly calculating the business case, yeah, and then you're finding nice, interesting business models, and in the end, nobody wants the services or the products that you have developed. And the reason is that the ideas are generated from the wrong perspective. Yeah, you really need to look at what people want. Yeah, what do they desire? And if you approach innovation from that perspective, then it's easier afterwards to find the suitable technology that fits to that desired new product or service. Or it's also easier then to come up with a business model, yeah, how you can earn money with it. And a method that we are using at Deutsche Post DHL, and that was originally developed at the University of Stanford and by an agency called IDEO, that's design thinking. And design thinking is a six-step approach from the problem to really an idea, an initial concept for a new product or service. And this method helps very much really to understand the problem first and understand the user needs before before you actually start to develop ideas. So I would like to deep dive now into the observe phase, the understand phase. So if there's an area where you like to innovate, then you really need to understand what the users need. And sometimes when you try to understand what the users really need, you look at some studies. Yeah, you do traditional classical market research, and this is really good. It gives you a lot of numbers and data. For example, here in this example, you understand that in rich, developed countries, you have a lot of waste. Yeah, people produce a lot of waste. Or you can also learn that in big cities, the average speed is very low, yeah, and you have, sometimes even 40% of the streets are really full of traffic jam, yeah. But when you look at those studies, it's difficult, what do you do about it, yeah, what's the idea, what can you develop now? And the problem with traditional market research sometimes, yeah, not in general, but sometimes it's really that it shows you facts, but it's not user-centered. You don't understand what do the users need, and also it doesn't identify the root causes. It doesn't identify what's behind it. Yeah, why do we have those numbers? And what we're doing at Deutsche Post DHL is that we're really using that method, design thinking, and we are going to the streets, or talking to our customers, and really try to understand what they desire, what the problem is. And when we first started to do that about 1 year ago, using that design thinking method, we realized that people are open to that, yeah. So I was a little bit, I don't know, hesitant. I thought, well, going to the streets, just starting to talk to people, how do they react? I don't like that, if somebody talks to me on the street, because I don't have time, and I think, hey, what do they want from me? But what I found is that people are really open and they sometimes feel, honored, or they are happy that they are asked. Regarding the statistics that we just looked at, they are just numbers. But if you go outside and, for example, regarding the waste, if you go and talk to people working in waste management or to people producing the waste, then you get really new insights. What are the root causes, and what would people like to have? What do they desire? Which new products or services? And the same is also for traffic jams. So, for example, here this man in the car. What does he want? He's in a traffic jam. How does he feel like? And you can really start to develop empathy with the people you are developing new products or services for. Good. So any thoughts on how that man might feel like in the car? So he's a little bit annoyed, and also maybe his car is very important for him, young businessman. And when you observe people and talk to them, do some deep dives, some long interviews with them, also not only talk but also look at how they react, how they behave, then you get new insight. And that's a really good starting point for developing ideas, because when you have such people in mind when you develop new products or services, then you have somehow a gut feeling what they might want, what they might desire, and that's a better starting point for developing ideas than just blank numbers. Good. So, and another aspect about design thinking that we're using and that we find very valuable for us is prototyping. So we develop very quickly prototypes for explaining our ideas. So prototypes are well known, for example, from the car industry. Here's a Porsche prototype. I think that's the most expensive Porsche that's out there. And so imagine you talk to your customers and you ask them, what do you want? And then they tell you, and then you come back with such a prototype. What will they say? Wow, they will be quite astonished, probably, very impressed, They will think, wow, they put a lot of effort into that prototype, and they will say very, very likely something nice, They will say, wow, that's a great car, I would buy it, You don't need to change anything, that's perfect. But that's not the kind of feedback you would like to get, So instead of developing such glossy, high-end prototypes, we use cardboard, Lego, paper, and we do it very quickly. This is a prototype of one idea that we developed. And if you come back to your customer with such a prototype, then he might think I'm allowed to say that's complete bullshit, that's not what I want, So investing less time into explaining your ideas with such a prototype, into prototyping it, really helps you because you get more honest feedback. Yeah, and we found this this way of developing ideas very helpful for us. Yeah. Good, and then of course if you have such a prototype you can also very quickly change things, yeah, and you can even develop such prototypes together with your customer, yeah, or your partners. And then the third thing that I would like to mention regarding how do we come up with new ideas is that we have an innovation network. Yeah, we have more than 30 partners with whom we develop new ideas. We have lots of technology partners because sometimes technology is very helpful and you need it latest when you really want to start implementing the ideas. So and then we have also partners, industry partners, as well as lots of research partners, you know, that give you insights when there are some new insights. You can have a look and discuss with them, and this really helps us to refine our ideas. And we run such innovation workshops together with our customers and our partners, and we are also thinking of running innovation workshops later on, maybe with SOS children's villages, yeah, using the design thinking method. Good, so I come to a conclusion, and then we have still some time. Here it is. We have some time for questions, discussion. I have 3 points as a conclusion. So from my findings or our findings, statistics and some studies, they give you only limited insights when it comes to developing new ideas. So it's better sometimes to talk to people and also maybe develop empathy, which then is your gut feeling and helps you to come up with new ideas. Then quickly made prototypes, that explain the ideas are better than polished prototypes, and they give you more honest feedback and more rich feedback. And involving customers and partners in the idea generation helps you to really maybe come up with ideas that you have not thought of by yourself. And you can implement them often faster, and you have also, if you have a big company as a partner, you have a better scalability of your ideas. Good, so that's all what I wanted to say. So the clock says we have about 12 minutes left for questions. And since this is a workshop, it would be great if there are some questions or discussions, some thoughts. I think we have also the microphone available. Yeah.
Hello. I was really interested to see your list of partners and the variety of partners that you had involved. I imagine that each relationship is different, but is there a standard way that you build that relationship? How do you start it, and then what is the actual day-to-day of that relationship?
So what we would like to do with our partners is that we have really some joint activities. So before a company gets our official partner, we scan whether there are some joint strategies, some topics that we could work on together. So, and then we align also with our IT department if it's an IT partner, and we really like to have the best-in-class partners within our network. So we have some alignment, and we check whether there is some potential for joint activities. And the day-to-day work is that our colleagues, they visit our partners there's an exchange on a project basis, and then we invite partners to our annual Innovation Day and to our annual Partner Day, and we facilitate also exchange between the partners. Yeah. Some further thoughts? Also, Christoph Selig is here, could answer some questions. Good, so if not, we are here also during lunchtime and this afternoon, so you can talk also to us later on. Thank you very much.